Hi everyone, I'm Pujita, BTech student from the AIDS branch at VIT Bhimavaram. In this short and simple video, I'll be explaining the basic concepts of JavaScript, which is one of the most popular programming languages used for web development. We'll be covering the key topics like variables, conditional statements, arrays, loops, functions, and objects. I'll also show you small examples that I personally wrote and executed in VS Code so you can clearly see how each concept works. So let's get started with our very first concept, variables. Variables. Variables are used to store data that we can use and change later in our program. In this example, the first line, variable name Pujita, creates a variable named name and stores the text Pujita. The next line, let age 18, stores the number 18 in a variable called age. Then we have const college, VIT Beamer. Here const stands for constant, which means its value cannot be changed once assigned. Finally, I used console.log 3 times to print the values of these three variables on the screen. So, the output will be Pujita 18 and VIT Bhimvaram. That's how variables help us to store and display data in JavaScript. And secondly, conditional statements. I created a variable called marks and gave it a value 76. Now I am using the if else structure. It checks the value of marks and then decides what message to print. If marks are 90 or above, it prints grade A. If marks are 75 or above, it prints grade B. If marks are 65 or above, it prints grade C. Otherwise, it prints grade D. Since our marks are 76, the output will be grade B. That's how conditional statements help our program think and make choices. And third one is arrays. Arrays are used to store multiple values in a single variable. In this example, I created an array called fruits with three values, apple, banana and pineapple. When I write console.log fruits, it prints all the items inside the array. But when I write console.log fruits1, it prints only the items at position 1, which is banana. That's because array indexes starts from 0. So, the first item index is 0, the second index is 1, and so on. Arrays make it super easy to work with lists of data in JavaScript. And fourth one is loops. Loops are used when we want to repeat a certain action multiple times. Here I created an array called colors with three items, red, black and yellow. Then I used for of loop, which means for every color in the array print that color. So it will first print red and black and then yellow, one line at a time. Loops are very useful when we have large amounts of data or tasks that need repetition instead of writing the same code again and again. And fifth one is functions. Functions are blocks of code that perform a specific task. Here I created function called greet, which makes one parameter name. Inside the function, it returns a message saying hi, followed by the name. Then I called a function using console.log greet Pujita. That means it sends Pujita as the input to the function and output will be hi Pujita. Functions help us write code that's clean, reusable, and easy to maintain. And sixth one is objects. Objects are used to store information in key value pairs. That means each piece of data has a key or name and a value. Here I created an object called student using curly braces. Inside it we have three properties: name with value Pujita, age with value 20, and branch with AIDS value. When I print console.log student, it shows all the details together. If I want to print only one property, I can write statement.name or statement.age. Sorry, student.name or student.age. So the output will first show the full object and then just Pujita and 18. Objects are very powerful. They help organize data neatly in real world form, like details of a student, a product, or an employee. And lastly, a quick recap, that is variables, which stores data, conditional statements, which help in making decisions, arrays which hold multiple values, loops which repeat actions, functions which perform specific tasks, and lastly objects which store structured information. Thank you.